Right, welcome to Done a Bit Podcast. We are with Big Owen Livesey and Big Calpacino, the fucking Sunderland strangler, the boy who runs Sunderland, I've heard. So, my mate, where do we fucking start with you?
Anyway,
mate, what route do we even go down? I've already been told there's some mad stories I don't even know about. Do we start there or do we wait to them?
Well, you started with MMA, didn't you? You started MMA, or was it boxing?
I started boxing.
Boxing.
I started boxing when I was about 12 for Sunderland ABC. Same gym as like Tony Jeffries, Warren Baster, loads of good kids like that who come through. I did that till I was about 17-year-old, and then I started. I didn't ever get fallen out of the gym I was at. I just kind of lost the love for it. You know, a bit of politics got in and kind of changed the vibe for us a bit. So I started just keeping fit in like another boxing gym. Not to fight for them, but just to train and do a bit of fitness stuff because it was all I really ever did. And in the back there was like a little cupboard in the back of this gym, and Andrew Fisher had matted it out, and there was like a group of like mutants who used to like train in the back of that. They were like, one of them was like some big hairy guy who used to do like live action role play in the forest with swords and that, and he used to get put to sleep like every week. And people would come in, and there was like a window ledge, man, right? And it was like where like things went to die. Like there was like 20 random like gum shields out of just being left, moldy as hell, pubes, hair, everything, just all out of them, just being left up in the top of this little window thing, you know, this little iron air. He would come in and he would be running around, and we'd watch him, and he would just run out of there every time. Try another one, and just try all these different gum shields till one would fit and he would wear it for the session. And it was just packed with people like that. There was like probably about eight or nine of us who would train regularly in this little back room, and it was completely new to us, you know, from...
That was just boxing, that?
No, I was boxing, and then this was when I'd started grappling in this little matted out room in the back of this cupboard.
Did you know anything about grappling at that time, or
well, I'd watched a few UFCs and that, and I don't know, just from coming, I'd had 26 fights at this point, and I'd won a national title for a gym I was at there in Sunderland and that, and I'd done well in the other national competitions and that, so coming from like an open class perspective like that to then not having a clue and thinking I was like the dog's bollocks and then getting like knocked off some little kid, I was like, fuck. I was like, I need to learn how to do this, you know what I mean? I'm vulnerable kind of thing, so I just dived into it, and as I say, we used to just train in the back of this room, but it was like just like proper cool.
Was it like a coach based, or was you just like turn up and roll?
Andrew Fisher was a coach. He was fighting MMA under Warren Oliver at Spartans, and he just opened his own little thing, and it was just a little crew of us. But as I say, it was like one of us was like a pharmacist. One of them was like just some random guy we used to call Mario Tash, and like he would run around the mats and people would make the noises if he'd like stepped on a mushroom or something, you know, like we just used to but it was just full of geeks, and I loved it. And then just from there, that was it. I just kind of went, started training and fighting and that, and fighting in MMA, and just the way my fighting style at the start was just like sprawl and brawl. You know, my first fight, it was just like, if you get took down, get put up. If you're in a bad position, stay safe, reverse, try and get put up, and just anti-grapple. And I ended up fighting some fucking grapple in my first fight, and had like the fight of my life. I ended up winning, and then I fell in love with it from there. And then I just, more and more, my fights would kind of end up being like, I wouldn't use me striking as much. I would use me striking to set me wrestling up, and then it would come in, and then my submissions would come from like people scrambling with us. Like I'd get on the net, or I'd get their back or something, and it just transitioned from then. And then I just started falling more and more in love with jiu-jitsu.
How'd you find it going from like that boxing stance to that wrestling stance, grappling stance?
I feel all right with it because I feel like my style, I was always like aggressive counterpuncher, so I'd come forward, but I'd like to like angles, and I'd like to try and draw counters out of people. So I feel it works well. The same with the timing for wrestling. You know, as long as I'm level changing, as long as my feet are not too stretched and my legs a bit, I feel like I've got a good low double. So I feel like that would transfer, like, what would you say, translate well into that style. You know what I mean?
Did you have to change your stance? So, because like obviously in our gym, if people come in gym and they're a boxer, it's like they're a right-handed boxer, they stood with a left foot forward. Whereas like, if we come from like a grappling, you've started with grappling, you'd be told to stand with your right foot forward, wouldn't you?
Right at your power leg eye. So the thing was with mine, it was because I'm my balance is pretty good anyway. Like, but it was more so the fact that I was a bit too side on, and if I was too side on, I could never check a kick. Yeah. My leg would just get obliterated with kicks, and then I would have to try and turn my front foot a lot more front facing, and then it meant bending my legs more and just trying to find out what worked like that. And then the more and more trying to make that to fit into MMA kind of work better for us. And
Did you compete in boxing?
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah. I won national title for Sunderland. I won the golden belt in 2006. I got the junior B final 2007. I got bronze in the boys clubs 2008, but I missed weight, so they kicked us out for that. I didn't end up boxing. Drayton Man a theme bar at the semi-finals, and
no way.
Kicked us off. But the show went up anyway. There was loads of gypsy lads ended up kicking off with one of the results, and they just ended up with fucking people getting chair legs over their heads and everything. It was mental. It was wild, like, to be honest. All the officials were like in the ring and like
no way.
Just went up high till the show was done, like.
So how old were you did your first MMA? So you decided to box from
17,
never?
18, aye.
And you started boxing when?
When I was 12.
So you boxed for like 5 years, went into
then
MMA.
And then so I started fighting in MMA straight from there. I had a few. Then I went pro, and then I just had a mad time where I just took 4 years off and just travelled about and just got off my box for loads of hippies and that.
Did you go travelling as well, did you?
Well, I was skateboarding, so I was just camping wherever I went. We've
got you're a fucking bit of a skateboarder.
I camped in Copenhagen and skated Wonderland out there in Christiania and just smoked loads of weed with loads of mad guys. And then we did it the same in Amsterdam. We camped out there, stayed in Barcelona for weeks and just went everywhere skateboarding. It was sick. It was just the lifestyle. Just loved it. Just travelling all over and just doing what we wanted. It was class. Right, and then I had 4 years of that, and then I was like, right, well,
would you like sponsored or something with skateboarding or?
Man, not really. Like, but as I say, I wasn't bad. Like, I used to love just travelling all over, and we used to fucking skate every day. So we got pretty good. Like, we built like this DIY park, right? So we were paying for cement. Everyone would chip in, and we'd do like fundraise days where everyone would meet up and just get on the beers and smoke and just skate all day, and it was sick. So we ended up getting like a grant off, but it wasn't like a grant, it was like a Red Bull basically give us like money for tools and that.
Fuck off, really? Red Bull,
aye.
Mate, it's a big scene, skating in Barcelona is a big thing,
Oh, mate, the big
my mate got sponsored to go out there.
So how have you ended up getting in touch with Red Bull though?
Because basically all his local skate shops is obviously all of our mates, so like they were doing, like they were calling it like the Red Bull DIY giveaway, and if you entered a photo of your DIY park, if they thought it was like decent enough, they would give you some shit. And ours was the fucking dog's bollocks, like, so because we had loads of bricklayers who were skateboard most, so our park we were just buying. We had B&Q, we had wasteland where we had B&Q was at the top of the hill, so we just kind of come down with the wheelbarrows full of cement, full of all the shit. We'd just be there from morning till night, so we just fucking had the best place ever. Sorry, we're even allowed to Spanish. Sorry,
mate. Yeah. Cunt bastard, shit, boobs.
So I said what they said, because there was another one not far away from where ours was, but it was like similar scenes. So sometimes we would go to theirs and they would come to ours and film edits and that. So Native Skate Store in Newcastle was like, look, well, we're getting the grant, so we'll just split it, and you can have half and they can have half, and you can have some of the tools and they can, and we'll make it work. So we just did it, and then it happened a couple of times, so we got a fair bit, and it was sick. We used to call it that's what that is. We used to call it the moon. The moon, that's it, the moon, fucking sick.
What, so your skate park was called the Moon?
The Moon, aye, because it was like a big, like, grey, flat area, like, it was tiles, but it was like had craters in and all that. It was mad, where some of the tiles have been smashed out. And
is it still there now, or?
No, they've literally not long got rid of it because they had to sell the land, so they give us a warning, they come up, because they said for years they were going to do it, and they never did. And then one day they come up and they were like, oh, we're going to give you like time so you can get your stuff knocked down, get all because you can see how much you've put into it, and get all your stuff and move to somewhere else.
Fuck.
Sweet, aye, and then the fucking...
So how long was you doing that for? Like 4 years, you said?
I just went off the rails for 4 years, just doing whatever I wanted.
What have you got there? Like, how are you living? Have you got money saved from MMA and that?
Nah, I was fucking... before that, I had my pro debut, and then I took 4 years off. I fucking... spent more on my diet than I did Mac from the podium, you know what I mean? Could have got a week shopping on I got my podium, you know what I mean?
So what the fuck? So you had your first amateur MMA fucking at 18.
Semi-pro, it was classed as back then, so it was basically a pro fight without ground strikes for no money.
No ground strikes at all?
No, but it was fighting pro gloves for fucking 5-minute rounds, head kicks, knees and everything allowed. But then it was just not allowed to ground strike.
So when you land on the floor, is it like grappling then?
Aye.
Just normal grappling?
Well, body strikes and shit was allowed. It was the stupidest rules. You can kick someone bare shin to the head.
Is that
and knee them in the face.
What was the rule set called? Is it like NSAC?
It's called NSAC now, but back then it was semi-pro. So amateur was basically a grappling fight with body kicks and punches. Semi-pro was head strikes, kicks, knees, punches. No ground to the body, but not to the head. It's like...
What, and then you fucked off? You fucked off skating?
No, then I turned pro, and then I had a pro fight as well. Well, I won a title on a show up our way. It used to be strike and submit, If you remember that back in the day, that was a good pro show, and they changed its name to Supremacy. So I had all my my semi-pro fights on there, and then I fought for their title, and then I went pro, and then I fought. And then it was weird, like it kind of became like, it lost its fun, because when I was pro, it wasn't like when I was semi-pro, and I was just, me and Louis were going out down the town and getting into birds and just messing about and doing what you do, and then sparring the next day off cut and being up all night to then. Right, you're pro now, I'm calm outside the house, you fucking coming to spar, and we've got such and such here, and I'm fucking fat as fuck out the camp, and I'm like, oh, you want us to come and spar these cunts today and get me head just bashed in? And I'd be lying there in the scratcher, absolutely knackered. I'd be like, nah, I'm good for this. And I thought, now when it become like a bit of a job, I kind of lost the love, and then I took that time off, and then at first I was like, oh fuck, I need to start getting some fitness, you know.
I was gonna say, when you're in that time off there, are you thinking like, shit, like should I go back? Or
because I'm a weirdo, me. Like it's not like a jealousy thing. It's just now if I see my mates competing, I'm like, fuck, I want to be fucking doing that with him, you know. And then I was like, well, I'll go back and spar, and I'll just help the lads with their camps. And then when I went back, I was like, fucking hell, I'm not bad. My timing's not too bad. And I'm actually, even for being a slob, I'm like doing pretty well against these good guys. So I was like, fuck it, I'll get back in a bit more. And then that was it. I was just like, I'm going to fight again now. And then just had like busy all the way, and then started fighting for different organisations. And then all along this time, just enjoying me jiu-jitsu more and more. And
did you find that in your fights, you was going to more like ground-based?
I just enjoy. I don't know why. I just enjoy grappling so much. I don't know what it is about it. I just love it. And then when I was, my last couple of fights, my last one was a bit of a nightmare. I shouldn't have even done it in that. And then I'd already lost the love for it and that. And I was like, what am I doing? So I took a year off after my last fight, and I went to Norway. I went out to Norway for a while, and then I went to some random gym out there. It was mad. I hadn't trained in ages. I was getting smoking bangers and that, just on the side. on the fags with loads of Polish blokes and that every day on the sites and that, just giving a big licks partying like a madman and that. And just fucking, one day I was like, fuck this, I'm going to go into this random gym. Someone told us about a jiu-jitsu gym. I was like, fuck it. An hour and a half drive, I was like, take the works van and just fucking bomb it out of there one night. So I was like, right. So I got loads of hash from this weird little hippie guy, right? And I just smoked a massive fucking hash joint on the way there, and I got there and I was absolutely faded when I walked in. I was blazed. I was like, I can't believe I've drove all this way, I've come in, I've wrecked myself before I come in. I was unfit as fuck anyway, and I walked in, and there was loads of guys there. And it was a good, there was sound, to be honest, the kids, and it was like a relatively new gym. Like some of them had trained a bit. One or two of them were decent, and the coach was super sound, so I ended up doing a bit of technique, showing a bit of technique with the coach, and probably not many of them even understood what I was saying, you know what I mean, but it was good crack.
I know, trying myself.
You wouldn't have fucking knew if they did anyway, would you?
No, I was just laughing and smiling at them the whole time, and then we did loads of rounds, and then from that I was on the buzz, and I was like, you know what, I can't wait till I get home. Text Ellis younger, and I was like, mate, when I come back, I balls to the wall, I was like, fuck MMA, I'm just going to train with you every day. I'm just going to mat it up when I want to, because I trained with Ellis for fucking years.
So you knew Ellis prior?
Oh, well, he'd been a part of me fucking, like, me training for a long time, and it just got more and more and more, and then the last few years, even before that, Norwich, it was like there all the time. So then...
Did you live close by you and Ellis, like, you kind of grouped together, or like...
Just from training, but he's one of my best mates. I love him to bits. He's, as I say, he's my coach as well, so I went there, and then when I come back, I was like, fuck this, I know what I need to be doing. I'm most happy when I'm doing this. The only times I've ever anything bad in my life's really got on top is when I've not been doing this. So I'm like, it's the easy solution to what's going to be good for my life. So I entered a comp straight away, and then my mate doing Sunderland offered us a job coaching in his gym. He said, would you be a MMA coach at the gym? And it means you can train full time and that, and basically I'll pay you when you do your classes, and you can do as much privates as you want, any hours you want, and I'll not take a penny. You can just... So I was like, fucking, this is giving us a chance to fucking live my dream, really. So I can be there with the bands if I want to take them to school or pick them up and that. So I was like, fucking obvious choice.
Have you always kind of found yourself being like that natural helper / coach? Because you said there, like, you was helping all your mates out in their camps, so you saw you was all right, and then now you are in a coaching role. Like, have you always kind of found that you have that natural coaching ability, or do you really enjoy it, seeing people get better? Or
I love it. I feel like I'm pretty decent at, like, breaking stuff down and watching and studying stuff. I feel like that's where I'm, like, excel a bit. So I opened a gym in Sunderland. It was I didn't open a gym. I opened an MMA class in a gym in Sunderland, but it was a tiny little room. But we had a little squad, and one of the lads ended up fighting for us and that, and it was doing well. But I hate looking like a freaking like a money grabbing slink, you know. Like so when like the lads were coming, like I was paying a weekly bill on the gym, but then like I didn't want to have the lads like at the time because I was like, well, it's only a new gym. I can't really see. I'll pay a monthly subscription to me. Thingy because it was a new gym. I was like, so I was just pay as you go. So sometimes it was a quiet week, and then I was footing the bill of the class. Yeah. But I didn't have a job, so at the time it was skinty. So someone at a Gracie Barha gym, local to mine, offered us a job to coach there. So I went up, and then I went, and it was alright at the start. Like I got on with them all. It wasn't any like animosity when I left on out. It was just like it was too much like a school environment for us, you know, with like people telling us how to do like
very structured.
You should be doing notes, and you should be doing this, and you teach this class, and you teach this one this way. And I was like, I'm driving there absolutely blazed, and I'm like, I'm fucking doing none of that. Like I'm gonna go in there and coach them if you like it, if you don't lump it like kind of thing. And that just got a bit tough for us and that. So I just like I bailed that off and that, and then that was it. Just had a few more MMA scraps, and then as I say, just jump back in here and grapple.
But you've had a right career in MMA though, haven't you, as well? How many fights do you have as a pro?
11 pro, and I had 4 semi-pro. I lost my last one, so I was 8-3 by the end when I've had my last one there.
Fucking good record though, isn't it, as well?
How was your journey to Bellator? Like what? Like obviously starting when you was fucking 18. How was the journey to Bellator there? Like,
so I had my pro fight, as I say, and then I had a time off, and then I went back, and I thought actually I fought a good guy actually from Scotland, Aidan Stephen, and he'd actually compete at the time. I used to think my grappling was decent and that, and then like it was shit. But like in my head, I was like, oh, well, I'm a decent grappler and that, and then like Ellis at the time had competed against this guy in Jiu-Jitsu a couple of times, and Ellis was like, oh, he's super durable, like he's good in this.
Ellis isn't real, and he's
so I was like, fucking hell, if that's Ellis saying that he's good, I'm like, fucking hell, this guy's gonna be a monster. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna get smoked in this fight. And then my mate messages is like leading up, like, oh, fucking, I watched some head kick knock out some guy in like fucking 11 seconds. I was like, fuck off, man. Like, you're talking to me, I'm going to get this fucking cyborg and get absolutely sparked here. I'm like, fuck, how am I going to win this? I kind of tap him down. If I tap him down, I'm going to get fucked up. So I was like, fuck, I'm just going to get mucked into him and see what happens. And then the whole time I was like telling myself, I was like, fuck, I'm going to bomb him out and I'm going to choke him. I'm just failing it, and we had a fucking right scrap, to be fair. Like I looked him up on YouTube, and the first thing I seen was just like, you know, when you can just tell someone's just got the athletic gift where they're just so explosive.
Yeah.
Fucking massive backflip off the top of the cage. I'm like, what have I done taking this fight here? I'm an absolute knacker. I've been out for years. I've come back and I'm fighting this guy. I was like, fuck's sake. I ended up hurting him, I think, kind of early on in the fight, with a kind of big shot, and then after that, I kind of managed to put the pressure on a bit, but he took us down at the end of the first round, got me back, and fucking gave us a bit of a shooing with some elbows in the back of my head and that. And I got out. I think he tried arm bars, and I got out the arm bar. And then second round was similar. I landed a couple of heavy shots, and I would say the shots were wearing on him, getting him tired. And then third round, I ended up guillotining him. And then from then, I ended up fighting a couple more times, and then I got offered a fight on ACB, which was the
fucking mad. That was the Russian promotion.
The Russian one where they were fucking mental Chechnyians and all that.
Oh really? I think you showed me that.
Because it was ACB, and then did it go ACA?
ACA, because the president.
Is that the one where they all interviewed you? Then they're just sparking each other out when they sat down.
No, that's some weird fucking.
Just like honestly, it's just like
shit.
Everyone's just like a mad level Russian.
Oh really?
Like fuck me, it looks nails that promotion.
Thankfully,
like.
I fought an English guy in it. So.
Did you?
So I didn't get fucking wrestle fucked. But I fought there, and then Carl Prince was like, oh, we've been offered a fight for Jonas, but Jonas can't do it in South Africa, in Johannesburg. Would you be interested? But I'd never mad bantamweight. That was the first time in that ACB that I did a catch weight at 140. That was in between feather and bantam.
What's bantam?
135, so 61 kilos. So I was like,
but
I was just like a little weedy pube at the time. So I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. But I was fighting at featherweight and feeling all right at it. But I just knew everyone's frames were so much bigger, because I was one of them where I was like a tall beanpole kind of guy, but I was a bit too big for bantam. But I was the framework for the.
So you fought bantamweight 61.
Most of my fights, aye.
Fucking hell.
Aye.
So what? Aye. Like tall for bantam 61?
6 foot. 6 foot. Aye.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's fuck's that, man.
Aye. When I fought Nathan Grayson, I did more than a stone in the bath the night before.
Never.
Aye. I did. I was 7 kilos in the bath the night before. I was 68.9 on the Thursday morning, and the Friday morning I was 61.2.
Fucking
I was fucking dead.
Big sweat that.
Oh, aye. kidneys and brain just got absolutely obliterated. Like, mashed them. Absolutely killed myself off. But I was good crap. But as I say, like, I spoke about it before. Like, I've got the first fight in South Africa. I fought some wrestler guy and I fucking tanked him, really. I fucking spanked him, dropped him and everything. And
class. And
the bumpers, they give the decision to him, and it was shocking. Was that no, this was in South Africa. It was in Johannesburg, and it was against some little midget who was from there, and I dropped him in that, and I put it on him. He didn't really do it. He did everything to not fight us. I ran away from us the whole time, did nothing. But it was at fucking 6,000 foot above sea level or something, so it was like I was fighting. It was fucking brutal, horrendous. I was exhausted, but I still bashed him all out. I won the fight clearly. Straight right in the third round, fucking sent him. His fucking eyes were all over the place. I was just too exhausted to put any more punches on him, so I tried to wrestle him up. But I was just lying on him for the third round, just trying to fucking put him away. I was fucked.
Mate, what is that like? I was listening to the Liam Harrison fight the other day. It's like, they said there's something you can't see. As a fighter in a ring, the audience can't see. You can see your opponent's face, like you said. Like, can
it's
you
hilarious.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's some funny shit going down. Like, now when you punch someone, and the fucking eyes are like wide. It's fucking
like you kind of just see it like he's fucked. Like I mean, like.
But what about it's some mad shit over the last show, the last Northern Submission Series I had. I'm not saying any names, but there's two lasses competing in massive takedown right in front of us. One of them just ripped the nastiest fight ever, and I was like,
no way.
Right in front of us. They're both funny lasses, so I was like, and me and all that Josh Winson and all their family was on this table here, and I was on the fucking thingy. So on the commentator, so I'm trying my hardest to be like professional, and I'm looking at these, and the sweat's pissing. I'm creased, absolutely creased. You can see the moment where they both like looked at each other just to see like that was you. They tried to stitch each other up, and it was fucking hilarious. There's always funny shit happens, like mad little moments in the fights and that. Like I remember, Nathan Grayson punched me fucking head in, right, mate, like absolutely leathered his, and then I ended up getting on his back and choking him by some miracle, right? But there was a moment when I was on his back, right, where I had like a dreadlock in my mouth. And I was on his back, and I'm like trying to get this dread out of my mouth, and I'm like trying my hardest because I'm like, if I don't choke you, I'm fucking 100% getting chinned. Like, so I'm fighting, trying to get under, and I could feel like fingers in my gloves, and I'm like, ref. This is like the whole room's fucking spinning like mad. I'm like, ref. Just like the blood in my eyes everywhere. I've just been cutting him.
Dirty dread in your mouth.
I'm like, he's fucking holding me gloves, ref. He's holding me gloves, ref. No, I ain't. Calm as fuck. No, I ain't. I was like, and then it was mad because I ended up choking him. And then I sat up like this, and I was like, I didn't even celebrate. I was just like, mate, that was a fucking one. As I leaned over, some good humongous clod of blood like drips out my eye, and you can see it on the video clear as day.
Is this scar? Is this scar here?
No, that's a different scar.
Yeah,
I got one under here from MMA and one above, and a few on my head, and one on my chin. But as I've leaned over to say like, like min fight mate, sorry fucking, because I always feel bad, even though I fucking should be happy I've won, I always feel bad for the guy who's lost, you know what I mean? And I've leaned over and he like looks up at us with a big smile, and there's like a clod of blood like drips out my eye and into his mouth. You can see it on the video clearly. He's like, I'm trying to get it out. It's a mad.
Has he got AIDS now?
Nah, he's obviously fucked now. Ruined his life.
Did you say earlier once have you shit your pants in a fight or not?
No, I shit my pants after I weighed in though.
Oh really?
But I was I had the first fight in South Africa, and then I came back, and then I fought some monster like steroid guy from Norway because I was meant to fight a good guy, and he pulled out short notice, so they got us some like.
This still ACB?
No, this was on a short my way. This was like in between the AFC because I needed to fight. So I was meant to fight on a Bama Bellator card when Bama was still about like a co-promotion. The guy pulled out, and then the because MMA is illegal in Norway, so like Norwegians always game as fuck to travel all over the world to fight.
Still?
Yeah,
is it really?
pardon me, yeah. You can train, but you can't fight as far as I'm aware. I don't think it's changed yet. So some guy came out, some like little steroid monster, was just strong as hell, so I fought him, and then I went back out and I was like fighting the poster boy of the organisation in South Africa, some like handsome black guy who was like super fancy kick knockouts and all that. And I had a scrap with him, and I ended up putting him to sleep in Cape Town. So they got us back out and they let us fight for their world title.
ACB's world title?
No, AFC, the South African organisation. Yeah. And when I was training for it, obviously I do a humongous fucking weight cut anyway, like well not safe at all. And when I'm coming to the last bits of that, like the organisation's like, you're going to have to come out on weight. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's physically impossible for me to ever be that weight without severely dehydrate myself. And we're like, well, we've had there's the worst drought ever in South Africa. It's hard at the minute, and like all of our reservoirs and dams are like gone. So you're not allowed to bath or shower when you come here. I was like, what? They were like, all the baths have been cut off. You get like a limited time amount for a shower a day for like 2 minutes, you know. And they were like, so there's no hot baths. I was like, well, what about saunas? I was like, there's no saunas. You're not allowed to use them anyway. So I was like, how the fuck am I going to mat weight? So I get out there every day. I'm fucking sweatsuited up, killing myself, skipping pads, and I'm carb depleting. I was eating like 3 eggs and a handful of spinach every day, like knees all dying, looking like AIDSy as hell, like fucked. And then the night before, I'm working pads with Fisher, skipping, shadowboxing, running my opponents in there, fucking absolutely stacked midget, just chilling, happy as like, on weight already. I'm like fucking dying, sweating my box off. I gets up in the morning and some guy who sponsored us from out there, Tyrone Kidney, he was called, he had like a meal prep company. He was like, oh well, if you get an Uber to where my house is, I've got a bath, you can use it, like, but it's a fucking canny trek away. So I was like, fuck it, we're going to do it because I'm not going to mat weight. I still had like 3 kilo to go and I'd exhausted myself to the point of like, there's no more I can try here. It's not going to come off. I've worked as much as I can. So we went in this Uber. The guy took us to like, on the thing, my main Fisher in the car, and it was saying like, you're 21 hours. I'm like, mate, where are you fucking taking us here?
21 hours?
I'm like, you've put the wrong address in. We are gone to a weigh-in now. We are on the way to a weigh-in. I need to stop by someone's house to make this weight. You're going to the wrong place. And he was like, couldn't understand a word I'm saying.
It's just 21 hours on his thing.
He obviously put the wrong thing in. I'm like, where are you taking us? New York? Or where, man? What you playing at? So he changes the thing. So I get the thing, put it in, and it was like half an hour back the other way or something. So we get the other way. We get to this kid's gated community. We get there. Gets in. Runs the bath. I'm like, this is like lukewarm, mate. This is not hot enough for me to lose weight in. And Fish are like, well, just try one and see what happens. And bearing in mind, I'm like, I know what time the weigh-ins are starting. So I'm like, gets in one, I'm absolutely exhausted anyway. I've not had water for like 24 hours at this point. Probably longer at this point. I'm absolutely fucked from all night working out and that anyway. I'm lying there, gets out just exactly the same weight. I wasn't even warm. I'm like, get the kettle on. He gets this kettle out. Mate, he looked like he got it off a pirate ship or something. I'm like, this is not going to work. It's like, for about 10 minutes every time I'm watching it and I'm like, so he pours it in. As soon as he pours it in, the water's just obviously absorbed it. It's just gone. So I'm like, mate, we're going to have to do a few of these. Like, so I'm in the water, he's pouring the kettle in, I'm like, I can feel the water. It's like, warm stops, just gone. So I did loads of them, consecutively, got out, and I'm like, there's like 0.2 left by the time I'd done fucking...
You've done well, get that off.
And I was like, yeah, if I'm not on now, I'm fucking not winning. I'm just going to go and just tell them I've missed weight. Yeah. So I get off, and it was like 0.2 or something, so I was like, fuck it, I'll go there. There was is it called osmosis or cosmosis? When you're still sweating after the, when you eat and your body's not. What's the term for it?
I think you are right.
It's something like that, isn't it? Where your body's not going to. So I was like, I'll probably still sweat by the time I get there because I'm still heated up. So I'll just put all my hoodies on and all that shit. Yeah, so I does that. We get in an Uber to go into the place, and the Uber driver gets there, and it's like some huge like fairground in the middle of the desert. So I'm like, sweet mate, drive through the gate. He said, nah. I'm like, mate, I've missed the start of the way, man. Drive through the gate. The fucking place where I'm gone's all the way in there, man. He's like, now you've got to pay it again in there. I'm like, it's an Uber, you've been paid for it, Tazin. He's like, nah. And I'm like, we've got any money on us? I'm like, he's ditching us here. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like swearing, and I'm at this point, I'm getting angry, I'm getting vexed. I'm like,
you must be fucked.
He's taking the piss out of his ear. So I'm like, mate, driving the fucking gate, mate. Driving the gate now. And I'm like, have you got any change? And by chance, we had it. It was like 10 pence or something. So I'm like, fuck's sake, give him the money. We get in. Walks in, I'll show you the photo, actually, it's fucking comedy gold, mate. I've got some gadget taking a photo of me Johnson, I'll show you. But anyway, I get in, man, right, and I walks in, out of the room, I'm absolutely fucked, this girl's there, and I get on, and it's like 0.1 hour, and the guy's like, you've missed it, you've got to be...
No.
I went, here, fuck this. He went, we'll get the towel. I went, fuck the towel. And just pulled me fucking trousers off, and there's like... loads of people in the room. I was like,
what, with dick out?
Oh, wow, I was fucked. Little invert penis, like fucking.
It'd be in your stomach,
you're so bigger than me, Chucky. I was like absolutely wrecked. And I was like covering up, and like there's some guy, I'll find the photo, I'll show you, it's hilarious. Some guy like laying an hour.
Get it straight at the camera as well.
It's hilarious, mate.
Fucking hell.
Unreal. I put it on Instagram, but they fucking took it off.
This for title as well?
I just said 5 5s, man, mate. I got there, mate. I was like, I just knew, I was like,
You can't have won
Also,
that.
so I weighed in, then I fucking tried to fucking hydrate myself, man. Shit me pants. Complete water, just...
What, in place?
You know what I mean? Like, no, like, as soon as I started me salt and everything, just couldn't absorb it, just... I was fucking feeling ill, trying to eat, fucked and that. Then the next day, walking out to the fight, mate, when I was going out, it was like... I just remember thinking, I was exhausted, and I just remember thinking, it's like I'm in a daydream, mate. Doesn't even feel like I'm having a fight. I was just... Got in there, and I was like walking around the cage, and I was like looking around, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? And then I had the biggest fucking wrestly, grindy fight of me fucking whole life. I had carpet burns on my arse. I looked like a sea monster when I got out of the fight. My lips were blue, massive lips, big. I got hit with a heat-seeking missile from South Africa, right in the fucking...
You got hit with a what?
A heat-seeker, just no, I seen it coming from 10 miles.
Heat-seeking missile?
From about 10 mile away, just massive, and I just seen it. I was that exhausted, I just took it. Took my head off, split me fucking eye open. I elbowed him in the head, split his head, and hit all that little bone there.
Oh.
Just bursitis straight away, just boom, just ruined myself. It was horrible.
So did you go 5 rounds?
Aye.
Fucking
I was saying earlier, that's what I was saying, was I talking to you outside the gym? I was like, pure hit and hope, desperation going into the last round. Like, knew I was getting smoked on points and that. I was like, fuck. I was like, I'm going to knock him out with one shot here. This is my chance. I know I can definitely hit hard enough to spark him out if I hit him on the button. Just loaded up, just whoosh, and he just level changed, just upside down, slammed us on my head, just fucking brutal it was horrible. And I remember after the fight, the bell went and I sat there and when I stood up I was just like, wanting to whitey proper bad, fucking exhausted. I had to sit back down. They were saying, put your top on for your sponsors. I was saying, fuck that, I'm not putting that on. I'm going to die, I'm actually going to die. It was horrible.
Fucking hell.
Good crack. And then obviously from there, that was what fucked us when I was meant to fight on, when I was saying up Rising on the New Year's Eve one.
What, you were going on Rising as well?
I was meant to fight after that. If I'd have won that fight, Rising were going to give us a fight on...
the Japanese one?
I was going to fight on that if I'd won that one in South Africa.
Do you have like a manager or anything? Or is this all just for yourself? Like?
It was always through myself and like obviously with my coach and stuff like that. But then for me last fight, I got a manager. But then
Mate,
I wish I never.
So
them. Like not against them, like they're alright lads, but it was just a bad choice for me.
So because you lost, he said.
Nah, like I could have. Like as I say, it was just a weird thing that I just felt like. Obviously, as I say, it's no disrespect to them, but it's like I've always. I'm a fucking loyal person, me, and like people had sponsored us from fights before, right? And already give us sponsor money. So when a fight had fell through and when my opponent had pulled out and they wouldn't get us a rematch. By the way I deal things is like then I still have an obligation to promote them for the next fight.
Yeah.
So then when the fight never happened again, I still had them and then I'd accumulated more. So then when I got this manager, they're like, oh, we need to do your banner and we'll do X, Y and Z because these are paying us. And I'm like, no, this is how it's gone, mate. I'm doing this for the people who sponsor me. This is your thing aside. I'll put them on as well, but I'm doing... And it was like loads of little things like that and I just felt like there was people who would come out and tell us stuff after about like obviously when I wasn't fighting for Bellator and stuff like how I could have still been and it was nothing to do with me and it was more to do with that side of it and you know just weird shit like that, like not to get into too much of it, but things out of my control, you know what I mean, which I thought could have been dealt with a lot better.
Did you fight for them again or did you go straight to Bellator then?
No, so this was when I was with Bellator.
Okay.
But so I never ended up fighting for Ryzen. I lost my fight against Lutando Biko for a world title, so then I never ended up getting the fight with Ryzen. So then it was mad. I had a little bit of time where I was just training and then I was away in London and I got a message saying, oh, do you want to fight on Bellator? We've got you a guy, it's a tough fight. Are you interested in it? And I was like, who is it? And they were like, Nathan Grayson, Cage Warriors World Champion, he's just signed to Bellator. I was like, fucking sign us up, let's go. And then obviously, as I say, I went out, that's when I went out to some of that camp when we went to Sweden, we went and trained at All Stars a little bit and that. And
what was that like?
Sick, it was good, mate. I loved it. We went, it was like fucking minus 17 or something. It was
classic. Oh, really? I didn't know Sweden got that cold.
Brass, mate. Oh, man, all the rivers and lakes and all that was iced out. We were going to something called a mixed bastu, right? And it was like a fucking man and woman sauna, which we didn't know that's what it was, but it was mixed bastu and we were going in.
Bollock.
Like, El Gadget with Chuckies out all out and that's why I was like, fuck this, I'm going in like that. So it was Whitney Johnson out straight in. Obviously, as you do, it's like 4 blocks of like these big like rows. So I'm like, fucking top shelf, that's me right up there, straight up, mate. Worst decision in my life, mate. Got packed, it was like a chicken coop. There was about 150 people just ran. There was a lot there, but there wasn't that, but there was a lot of us in. It was like wall to wall, and I was like, God, like, so this huge big guy come in, there was this massive thing with all the hot coals in, he had this big ladle. What he was doing was he was pouring all this massive thing of water over it, then he had a big wet towel, and he was going,
yeah, I've done that.
That's what I was on about. Just really do this big dance.
It's a fucking show.
Mate, I was on the top, and every time he whipped it towards me, I was going,
It's fuck. How hot does it get though?
But I had knelt on. There's some woman's head, and I'm like, I can't get me. I can't get past. I'm going to touch her in the head with this, and it looked like I pretty much had a stiffy because my dick was that shriveled. It was like standing up. So I'm like
sitting on your bollocks.
I sitting up, perched up. So I'm like, fuck, I can't leave. So I just had to endure it. My eyeballs were fucked. Mate, it was brutal. Went out there, and then like obviously you jump in a little ice. I had a bit of square cut out the ice waterway. You would just dip in and get by. It was sick.
Yeah,
cool fucking place. Like,
what made you choose there? Did you kind of know people out there or what?
No,
like?
Just obviously fucking Gustafsson and that trains there. No, it's a good gym. You know, I've seen a lot of the stuff they do training wise and that. And
what do? Do you just pay them a fee for your camp or something like that? Or is
no,
like...
we just went out there and trained. There's that Andreas, the guy who's the coach there, like a fucking Reza Madidi, super sound guys. We messaged, Fisher, we got spoke to Fisher about him. Fisher messaged Reza and he was like, just come out and just train. So we went out and we just bought we paid for a B&B for like however long we were there, and then we just got a car.
So how are they training them lads? Like, is it technical, intense, or is it just all fucking crazy or what?
No, like it was suited. They've got a good setup. Like as I say, there was different classes on different times. Like, it was just same regime as most places. Really, a bit of drilling, or if it was sparring, it was like a bit of tech stuff first, bit of moving around, like drills, and then spar. But I good heavy pace, like good scraps. What everyone was having in there, like it was a good, really good environment. You know, there was some really fucking. Some savages out there, like
sparring 100% as well.
Aye. Some of the ones were fucking. It was sick.
Fucking set your head up.
I got dropped with a body kick, mate.
No way.
I got dropped with a body kick. I was fucked.
I've been kicked once with a body kick from by little Jerusalem Joe. I think I'm still recovering from that. That was about 2 years ago.
Got an hell of a kick on him.
Yeah. So you've obviously had a lot of fucking scraps, like how, and obviously and a lot of grappling matches. How you kind of always felt like pre-match nerves? Like, do you still get them now, or are those completely gone? Or because I think that's something that people don't really talk about.
Mate, you know it's weird, like because I dealt with loads of that proper early on from being a young age, like. And nerves are always minging. Like even if you're like fucking mental person, you still get nerves. Anyone who says they're doing it full of fucking shit, or if they don't, then they're not taking it seriously. Because I didn't want to lose to anybody, even if I'm unfit. If I take a short notice fight, I still want to win it. I never want to not win, and that's like more of it. So like I used to when I was a kid, I used to get proper nervous, but like I would see how my mates were getting, and that would make me feel better. Because like one of my mates who used to spew, he'd actually been stopped in a fight before for spewing mid-fight.
Oh really?
And, like, it was like, and like when I would say that, I'd be like, well. If this is how bad he is, I'm better than that, so that would make me feel more confident in myself. And then when I would go out, I would get more and more confidence, more and more composed all the time. I thought, you know what, like actually I can do this as like a thing. And then the same with MMA, I thought I'm handling it better and better. And then when we do jiu-jitsu matches now, like it's like I don't know, it's like an enjoyable nerve. Like obviously I'm like I know I'm having a match, there's pressure on, but. To be honest, mate, I'm probably too stoned to fucking even think about it because I just get blazed and just go out and just try and flow. Like, most like I try and always be in an entertaining match. Like, I do try and push a pace and I try and wrestle. Like, even if it's someone I know is way better than us at wrestling, I could probably have more success playing a different game. I'm not bothered. I want to be remembered for someone who had fucking good matches rather than someone who's trying to tactically win all the time. Just like having fun.
Do you know what though? As well, I think like I only know from when like I'm dabbling with the lads in the gym who do a bit of MMA and that. When you do like a block of sparring in MMA and then you do some grappling, the grappling seems, it's not easy, but like you're saying there about like you don't really feel the nerves as much with jiu-jitsu and that, like no one's trying to take their head off, are they? You know what I mean? It's like you're not going to get damage, unless you're unfortunate, like, and you fucking...
get hair looked off Dave Weston.
Yeah, fucking
hell. Fuck that shit. Aye, but I know it is, that's it, and I just think as well, there's so much, like you've still got the pressure because obviously you've got expectations and people know how good you are. So like, I'm speaking of you in this, like people know what you're about. So they start to expect these big performances and these big highlight reels and all that. So like that side of the thing can sometimes make you more nervous in a weird way. But I think the whole scene of jiu-jitsu is a lot more forgiving. Like you can lose an MMA fight and people automatically think you're shit.
Yeah.
You lose a jiu-jitsu match, no one gives a fuck. No one cares. Yeah. The next day you beat someone fucking 10 times better than the person you lost to. You know what Mate, like this is mental this, so I didn't have much coming up for a little while. So I had a 2-day bender, mate, right? I had a 2-day bender. Then on the Monday morning...
Big bender.
Oh, fuck.
What's a bender? What's a bender including, yeah? What are we talking, lad?
fucking...
Can't bring the fucking ingredients.
Loads of fucking Charlie and loads of drink, mate. We had a right send-off, right? But it was, as I say, like, if I haven't got someone coming up, and I've worked my arse off and see I've, like, been committed as hell. Like, now and again, if it's one of the lads' birthdays, we'll have a little fucking session or whatever, right? If when in Rome. Yeah. Anyway. So I had this 2-day bender with my mates. We had this mad session. And on the Monday morning, I get a message from Chris Thomas saying, do you want to match this week? And I've been asking for a week. If anyone drops out, let us know.
It's not the Daisy Fresh one, is it?
Fuck off. Aye, mate. And on the Monday morning, I went, who's the guy? He went, Alejandro Wagner. I went, I'll do it. I went, what weight? I'll get as heavy as you went. He went, no. He's asking if you'll do that 75. I went, I'll jump on the scales. I went, I'm 82 kilos. Saturday, I went, would he do that 77? He went, I went, fuck it, I'm in. So I just trained hard as I could all week.
That was a fucking good match, though.
It was
fucking close as fuck as well.
Aye.
Did you get match of the night?
Aye.
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
It was a good fucking
I remember that, yeah.
That was a good laugh. But as I say, I fucking wrestled with him. I got it in. I was like, I want to fucking swat and tap him down. I'm going to fucking get it.
He did, though, I'm sure. You're not sliding by or something, goes back.
That's how. So I got in on a body lock.
Right.
Picked him up from there, and he posted on the leg, and I turned around the corner.
Right.
And there was a time when we'll come off the mats when I nearly got on his legs, and then I nearly got up where he's back and we're off the mat. So I flung it. To be fair, I felt fucking amazing in that match.
Yeah, you looked it,
and
man.
I thought he was getting more tired, and then he just hit us real slicked up under. That was too deep for us to turn against, and he was on me back. But as I say, it was.
They're good at that, the Daisy Fresh lads. Like Jack Hazard got done by one of them. Young lad, he just got a fucking wrestling scholarship somewhere.
Aye.
He did it. He slid him by. He fucking ended up flat doing a triangle off the back of it. They're good at all them slide bys and that. I think Pixley shows them all how to fucking do that. Yeah.
Aye, Pixie's good and he's a beast.
So, anyways, mate, how the fuck do you get into running your own show? And also, like, not to lick your ass because but we've heard nothing but amazing things about our
I was saying that before. It looks the bollocks as well.
It does look good. It looks great.
I am. It's me. You know what it is? It's something I've wanted to do my whole life. I wasn't even when I was fighting MMA. I wanted to do a Jiu-Jitsu show, and it was one of them. You know, there was always talks.
Well, you wanted to do a Jiu-Jitsu show, not an MMA show?
No, just because I think it's fucking such a good sport that doesn't get any attention that it is now. It's getting more so, but like especially our region where I'm from, in the northeast, man. There's some kids there that people wouldn't have a clue who are fucking amazing. And I just thought, you know what, if we can do something and really fucking put some effort and time and patience into building it up, we could maybe one day be big and like build these kids up and give them opportunities that what we probably didn't have, you know.
Mate, 10 years ago, no one knew about this sport, did they? Like, fucking hell, like in Hull now, not to bag any other gyms, but there's only one amazing actual gym what's training. Do you know what I mean? Like,
100%.
Be careful.
No, yeah, you know what I mean. Like, what's it like? What's it like in Durham area? Like, is there many gyms? But
Durham area is more like it's like student-y. So there's a little bit of stuff in the uni. There's Fifth Element. That's where I used to coach. It used to be Gracie Barha, Durham, and then it changed to Fifth Element. My friends, the coach there, Reece Duran, black belt from Reece is good. They've got a mint junior squad, and some of the kids are really good. Like he does have a good like regime with them. But outside of that, like obviously there's gyms up our end where there's a few good. Alliance Newcastle's a busy gym. The Dungeon. There's a few of them about, but obviously...
That Dungeon does alright as well, doesn't
Dungeon
it?
does alright, aye. There's two of them. There's like the affiliated.
Yeah.
There's a one next to Darlington, there's one in Sunderland.
Right.
They used to have loads of fighters as well, but the scene's so good. And I was in the gym one day and I was just talking about it, and I was talking to Anthony, who owns the gym I coach at. And I was just like, I'm really toying with the idea of doing this show, but then I what a day, and he's like, well, I'll do it with you. I'm 50-50. If you want, I'll fucking do it with you. And we'll do it together. You know, we're going to get a good venue. And I thought, fucking why not? Let's go. And we got the Rotor Hotel, and we're fucking like double the capacity, and people on the fucking tables and chairs, and it was fucking
never.
And we got a health and safety fucking
warning. Fuck off! What people stood on the table?
Mate, the full room. I've got a photo of it. Look at this photo. It was fucking.
I have a bad.
And then we had to move the venue.
I was gonna say, how the fuck did you get all the pyrotechnics? Like, how does that? Like, you said you're mad shit like that. Like,
mate,
all the fucking flames that people running out with flames and shit like that. Like,
we need some lesbian fire breathers, man. That's what it is.
Do you know what? There's a few beds.
You know some.
Genuinely, I do know some beds and all that. Do it.
That was the first one, but you can't see, man. There was like people on the tables.
Fucking looks unreal.
Hectic, man. It was sick, and then we got a health warning off them saying,
If you know it's fucking good when you get an L4.
You feel like you double our capacity, what you promised us you wouldn't. If you kind of come back, if you do, it's going to have to be a small one.
Was that first show?
First show.
Quality.
First show was fucking mad.
Did you make links or something from MMA to help you with all the production side, or have you just built that since you said I want to do a show?
Nah, but I just thought I've got a good opportunity. Like, I feel like with most people I've got a good relationship with, so I'm like, well, I was like, well, I might have a decent reach because I know such and such from this gym, and I thought, well, I've got a fucking kind of good grid of different gyms out there, and
I think the jiu-jitsu a lot in the UK, this
you know
area.
each other.
Everyone's class out there. Everyone's really supportive of each other, aren't they? Like,
that's the difference between even a lot of MMA gyms are kind of similar, but for the most part, I think it's gone a lot more like boxing nowadays, where it's all about like bravado and being a fucking tough guy, and this and that, where it's shy. That's not what it's about. I don't think fighting should be about that at all, and then obviously that's why I love the jiu-jitsu side of it, because half the time it's like little skinny computer guys who's fucking sick and it's mint, you know, and you're destroying these big doormen and all that. It's class. Like, who wouldn't love that? It's like a superpower. So that's why I love jiu so much. But what I was saying there with the show, I just thought we've got a good opportunity. I feel like I can promote it pretty well if I'm given the chance. You know, all you need a little snowball effect. And I thought, fuck it. And Ant was like, well, I know people, and he's like good with the DJs, like he's good on the decks, and he does all the club lands, and he's got good connections there.
He does himself.
So I was like, well, he can obviously get all the DJs and do all that side of it. So we just and I do all the like matchmaking and that, and
it's class, man.
Yeah, it's a good little setup there.
It's a good setup.
He's got his roles, you've got your roles.
That's it. So we just keep each other rating that, and then, as I say, we just went out and.
I bet people want to be on that show. I bet people like scratching at your fucking.
Oh, mate,
to,
I
like,
can't be
on
on my phone, mate. I honestly, mate, I've got that many. Like, I'm going to put a post on probably this week announcing the next date.
Yeah.
And it's, as I say, I've already promised so many people matches for this one. I've got like, we're going to do 2 different weight tournaments this one, and what I want to do with it eventually is like make it big enough to get it like as mainstream as I can. But to the point where if it is getting a big following and it's doing well, people invest in like sponsor us or whatever, then I can fucking pay kids to come on and do it right and look after people properly, you know, and like maybe say to some of them like maybe like a Polaris thing where what we were saying earlier, with like a deal and say, oh well, we'll give you 5 fights in 12 months and we'll pay you this much if you're willing to like. You know what I mean? Why can't you help like kids out and give them a platform?
Gives them something to work too, doesn't it?
Keep people on the ball, because you know what it's like, man. If you fucking
social media takes things fucking far now as well. Like, I mean, it's very unfortunate for Aiden, but that fucking video of Aiden's leg, mate,
8 million
that went
views.
around
8 million views or something, man.
He went around the fucking world, didn't it?
It was a ridiculous video, though.
Mate, it sounded like I was front and centre on the headset commentating, and I couldn't help myself.
I was gonna say, mate, when you see that in front of you, like
fucking loud as out, and I seen his leg do. Brutal.
It's mad though, because it's like his leg. It was like it was already just waiting to go. Because
he thought he was going to get out.
Because it wasn't on proper. It didn't look on though, did it?
Well, Aiden thought he was going to be able to kick the other leg through and kick his elbow off, so it'd slip his heel. So when he's obviously been a lot more that way, his legs obviously had so much more tension on it. So when he's turned it, it's just.
Was Dave putting it on at the same time? Or?
Applying it the whole time, so it was already tight. And then when he's been there, it just went counteraction. Fuck, brutal.
Fair play to him though, because he's already back to teaching and shit.
He's teaching already. He's a fucking cyborg, man.
He is, yeah.
Such a cool
Big
guy.
Das Fitness lad, what a
Big
lad.
Daddy, Das Fitness.
Das Fitness, like, what a fucking boy.
Mate, when he fucking Das Cristiano tries the fucking funniest thing ever, man. Cristiano.
Oh shit, yeah, forgot about that.
Cristiano, this is not ripping Cristiano away, by the way.
The memes and that.
Yeah. Cristiano underneath. Tapped, and I'm front and centre, so I seen it clear as day. So I'm like, oh, he's on the DOS. He's tapping. I'm going crazy because obviously Cristiano wanted to bet him $1,000 and was calling him a pussy for not betting. We were trying to put the money up. We were in the gym. I was in LSZ saying, well, let's get the fucking bread. Let's get the bread. Let's do it. Let's do this bet here. Aiden will smoke him anyway. Don King, one of the lads in the gym, he was going to put 500 quid in, but Aiden was like, weren't keen to do it, I think. And then, so it didn't end up happening, which I fucking wish it did. Yeah, you know, because I would have just been independent thing. I would have said, you put your grand in. As soon as the fucking sum, I would have just swiped them up and just said, there you go, Aiden.
20% for me, lads.
Obviously, I'm going to set my cut. Nobody, when he tapped, he come running out to me, and I had a crowd of fucking people around us, didn't I? And he's like, I didn't tap, and the whole place is going, whoa, and I'm looking around, I'm like, you fucking did tap. I'm like, to that, I'm like, I went, the ref, did you see him? I didn't see him.
No, he didn't.
I went, no. I went, here, pull that back to Sean Quirk on the Clive spot on the video, what's it called, the live stream. Like, hey, no bother. Reversed it, clear as day, just boom, boom. He just fucking gnashed. I was like, no way. He did tap. On the thing. I was like, he did tap. Motherfucker. Aye, but little crafty veteran tricks on the fucking...
It's a Brazilian tap, isn't it?
It is.
It's a fucking train.
The memes that came at the back of that was
funny.
With Trev Mitchell, the ref in his bed, in Woodley's bed and that, I was fucking crazy.
We even made one when we went to Polaris.
Yeah,
the Italy one. We were on the piss after it. And Cristiano was there. So we all took a picture like on the fucking seat, and there's a fucking sun behind, and he put Aiden's head on the fucking sun. Aiden's head was fucking, what's it called, sunrise or something.
Yeah, that was it. We put a big moon in the background, which is Aiden's head.
Moon, fucking funny.
Yeah.
Funny.
He was calling Aiden baby food, so I'm sure Aiden...
He was calling him, he's going, good night, son, and all that on his head.
I'm sure Aiden, because it was in our private group chat, I'm sure Aiden had one of someone getting fed porridge, and on the porridge on the spoon was a head of Aiden. The baby food was fucking stupid. So funny, man.
Aiden's good at that dash though, because
sick.
Pinchback.
Yeah,
Aiden caught pinchback with it. One of the lads from our gym fought Aiden on sub 15.
Aye.
And Aiden fucking smashed that dash on. He just got his arms are long as fuck.
As soon as he's wrapped around, it's fucking minging.
Got those big penis arms, hasn't he?
Aye, he's probably got a gigantic penis.
Yeah,
to be
probably
honest.
is,
He looks
his
like
fucking toes
long,
about that big, so if that's ever kind of his chuck, he's going to be enormous.
Fucking massive. How many of them have you done Northern submission now then?
3. Our next one's going to be all 4.
Number 4.
Aye. Mm-hmm. We're having a bit of a dilemma with it though, because we got the dates we wanted roughly, and then fucking UFC London's the same day as the Saturday we're going to put it on. So I was thinking, what we do the next day to Sunday, but people will be off, so maybe it might still work, and then it's fucking Mother's Day. So I'm thinking I might have to just do it early on the Saturday daytime, so people, if they want to watch it, can still watch it. But
do you want to do any different formats of it? Do you want to try like these tournaments? Do you want to try, or do you just want to do like solo matches?
Well, we've actually got a pretty cool idea, mate. Like I don't know how much of it's still going to go ahead, but we worked out a deal where I think BJJ 24/7 might potentially like let us use one of their mats, like mid one of their tournaments, and just what I was thinking of doing is like kind of like what you did, like a scholarship, not a scholarship, like the two finalists. I let a contenders, the 2 finalists would be.
Get on it.
I let a day lads one and a lasses one. I was thinking that would be a nice thing to do.
They're going to let you do it
just
mid-event?
I just like maybe use one of their, well that's what I was hoping for. That's what they were saying they were going to sponsor us, so that's what I was hoping.
If not though, I bet you could just do that in North East.
Aye.
If you needed to,
really, people would come up
there's
for
some killers in that fucking gym in
Aye,
there, yeah.
aye.
Like, there's some killers in that.
No, but I mean, like,
you could
do
the
just use
tournament
North
in that
East.
gym.
People will come from
Ellis would be cool for it as well, to be fair. Like, he's always up for out like that. Like, as I say, it's
no, mate, yeah, you're fucking well choice for that. You can do all sorts of that, yeah.
It's sick, man. It's fucking right good laugh, man.
How long have you been at North East training then? Just like specifically at North East?
Well, full. So I'd say the last few years, like definitely apart from that little gap I had where I went to Norway, because even before that, like as I say, even when I was doing MMA, I'd still be there every day. Like I would still be.
Is North East do MMA as well, or just purely jiu-jitsu?
No, just jiu-jitsu, mate. I gay and no gay, but I fucking love it, mate. So as I say, even my MMA training, I was always still on the morning or evening, depending which way I would work. It was
it's a big part of it anyway, isn't it? Like
definitely, mate. And I think even aside from that, like, even if whatever, I just think it's good for your fucking mind, and I just think I would do it even if I wasn't fighting or competing.
I feel like mate, you said that, and it's like every time you've had a bad period in your life, it's when you're not doing something. And like we kind of like always get around it. It's like a purpose thing, innit? Like call it what you want, call it purpose, call it habits, call it routines, call it fucking whatever, your discipline. But like it does just keep you in fucking check, doesn't it?
It does. You need it. As I say, like it's too like even just having that schedule is like it's drilled into you, so it's just subconscious. You're just happy to do it. Whereas when like that's why when you're injured or like that's why you see loads of these fighters when they retire lose the fucking plots and end up fucked on drugs or ending them, you know, because it's like the normality of their day-to-day life being taken away from them. It's crazy. That's what's so good about jiu-jitsu though. Like you get into the mats, like look at that today, how many lads who's older on is still training. Like there's people I've trained with, like I went down and trained with Lloyd Cooper, and Cal Rawson's dad's on the mats and he's fucking you know what I mean? And he's sick and he's super tired, and it's just a fucking such a supported community. It's like, why wouldn't you want to be
And you don't have to, like, when you get to that age, you don't have to be going balls to the wall either, do you? You can just be on there with the lads having a crack.
Absolute mong. You can see a mong a mile away, can't you, really? So just...
See one every time I look in the mirror for some reason. I can't stand that selfie cam.
I'm trying to get into a photo and there's people behind.
Is that me? No, but yeah, you are.
Food all over you, covering that.
No, it is, you are right, mate. It is a class sport, isn't it? Like,
it's
it
fucking
is.
mid.
So what matches have you got next now? You got a few, haven't you?
I was meant to have a black belt next not.
What belt are you? Sorry, I've never
Just got his brown.
Congratulations, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Big goose.
I got my purple and my brown in the same year.
Oh, class.
I don't know forever, like, to be fair, but I like it's just a competing thing, isn't it? And I'm just like, obviously consistency as well. Like, I've never not stopped training since then, so it's been. I try to proper push myself as well. Like, that's what I said when I got my purple belt. I was like, I want to fight as many of the best people as I can, as often as I can, and I try to.
I don't think there's a better way of showing your worth than getting out there, mate. That's what you've done. So,
and I feel like that's what I want to try and do the same now. As I say, I was meant to have a black belt, not this Sunday, but next at 85, and I was like 76k at the minute. So I was like, that'll be a good way to see me first one as a brown belt. If I can beat a black belt who's way bigger than us.
Yeah.
And then he just pulled out, so they got as a guy who's just got, I think he got bronze at Euros, so I'm fighting him at 80 next Sunday. And then from then, I think I'm going to have a match against on my show, depending if the dates work. Josh Chowton called us out again.
It was a good scrap last time.
It was a mint scrap. So
I did that in last time.
And I love Josh. I think the world of him. So I would love to. We'll definitely end up, even if it's not this show, I'll definitely do that again. But that was the plan for the next show if I can do it. Grapple Fest I'm on. I've got a good guy on that, Connor Edwards. He's got a tricky guard in that. And then Polaris. I'm on Polaris as well. Well, Polaris is before that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I've got another title match on that show in Belfast that I fight on as well. It's like in a cage, but it's like
that Chaos.
Chaos is sick. It's fucking sick. You should see the venue, man.
I love Ireland, me. Ireland's just fucking
unreal.
Like when we went for Grapple Kings, it's just like the crowd love it. And I don't know why as well. Like the crowd almost seem like they all understand it as well.
They're different. It is a different crowd.
You go in a pub there and there's always live music. It's just fucking, the atmosphere's banging everywhere, isn't it?
I've got a secret little change room at that fucking venue as well, where we boxed it off last time. We were smoking spliffs in the change room and everything. I got all the Black Country BJJ boys in there after with the speakers, we're having beers and that. Sending them in there, and then we all went out on the town. It was fucking sick.
Yeah, fucking class.
I ended up at some gaff till fucking 7 in the morning. There was loads of us. It was sick, man. It was sick.
Do you know what you might find now, though? I reckon you'll find that as you're a brown belt, it'll be hard to get matches with black belts.
Aye.
That's what I found. Because you're out there beating a few good people and that now, and you fucking...
Yeah, it's like lose-lose for them, innit?
I think a lot of black belts don't want to... Like, to me, I don't think it really matters, because grappling's just... Anything can happen, can't it? But I think a lot of black belts, it's like, I'm not going to put it there against the brown belt because I could get fucking beat. You know what I mean? I think that'll happen, mate. Especially like you get a win on Polaris, you'll want a fucking big match, won't you?
I'll hopefully, mate. Hopefully I can get it done. Put a show on at least anyway.
Yeah. Ellis is on that as well, isn't it?
Ellis has got a tough match against Ben Bennett.
That'll be a fucking scrap. That'll be a good fight.
That'll be a war. I'm buzzing for that.
Must be good being on the same card as your coach as well, isn't it?
Sick, mate. And then the same as with you, with fucking Chris Weidman watching that, man. That's going to be unreal. To be part of that's unreal. I'm going to stink the place out, mate. I'm going to come down with loads of weed, book it out on my Cannabis sleeves, and what out, send it, and then party. I cannot wait. That's me years in. I says I'm not going to have a beer out, or I'm going to get down through a deep Polaris, and then I'll let me head down a little bit like.
You staying over or are you getting straight back?
No, I'll probably stay over. I'll probably Addy.
With your jiu-jitsu now, sorry to kind of change subjects, but like, do you kind of have like goals in mind with it, or do you just kind of like, do you know what, I'm just going to go with the flow? Like,
I try and just think I'm just be as busy as I can. If someone comes, just say aye. I just say yes straight away. I think that's the best way to be in it, even if it's someone who is fucking really good. I accepted a match against Tom Barry. Tom Barry's a killer. You know what I mean?
Where was that?
Into Grapple. I was really
looking
forward to that.
That big fucker.
Tom Barry's, no, the drag.
Oh, the one who looks like you. Yeah, your twin.
Fucking ask my mum, she's
he's a legend, Tom. I fucking think a lot of him. And I was going to have that match, and I think he's sick. And I just think that, but then at the same time, I did always say, like, I want, these are the shows I want to do. I would love to get out to America and do high rollers. Like, I've Speaking of Mighty Matter, can
is that fucking weed one?
Aye, and like the sound, the guys who run it, they all sound as fuck. They sent us loads of clobber before, like rash guards and all that. I have a good relationship with them, so I thought that's one of my targets, which I'd love to try and do, and hopefully get a good guy, good American or someone on that. And
what's the crap with that? Do they stop halfway and smoke weed?
No, I think.
I
think it's different everyone. To be honest, I think you would probably say whatever you wanted, but normally smoke before. But when they do,
you ever smoked during?
I would. That's for sure. I would.
That?
I do at the gym, big rounds. We've been out loads of times and had a biff and went back in. But I think when they do like their tournaments and stuff, the winner gets like a £1 bag of weed and mad shit like that. And
no way.
Just fucking class, man.
That could be submission series. Like
I would fucking love to do it, mate. I would do it, no problem.
He's fucking just showing us then outside. He's showing us. He used to do a podcast there. You want to fucking see it.
Aye.
Fucking
what? When?
It's funny.
Ages ago, there's a big hydroponics company up next to mine, and I'm really good mates for the owner and that. So he had a little room in the back of the factory that he used as a studio. So it was just like a little smoke den where I just used to get feed. And I wanted to start a podcast, so I did it. And obviously, like it was class. I loved it. I fucking loved it. I could do it every day till I died. No problem. Just sit and talk to your mates or meet new people. But as I say, I did one over the internet with Ian McCall, who fought Mighty Mouse. That was a fun one. We're just talking about magic mushies and that.
Is he the one who used to do the
tash? Creepy,
yeah, creepy, yeah. And then his classmate, I used to love him, mate.
I had like a guy who like trains birds of prey and that, and he brought the birds of prey on with him and that, and I had like who else did I had like a Geordie Shaw lad on, and we had a
Never.
We ended up on the fucking session after, man.
Actually, don't you train with Paul Mort as well?
Aye.
What's he like? That was that.
Sound superb. Yeah, he's a lovely kid, really nice lad. And as I say, I got a guy on who does loads of ferreting and fucking shit like that, and works for the Shooting Times and that. And just loads of random people. And just had a proper good laugh.
He had a fucking thing in the middle. With his dreads on, but each
big
dread
alien
you
head
just
bong.
It was weird.
Big alien head bong with the hairs that come off, and then every individual one's a fucking pipe. So like six of us around the thing, like blasting this alien head bong, and I'm like blowtorching the top of it off. Like, I was sick. We used to have a right laugh.
Mate, all week I'd be winding up like, mate, you're gonna have to have a big bat this week. And he was like, yeah, it's gonna be like 10 Planet Day, 10 rounds, a big bat, and truck tonight. Yeah, fucking hell.
I had them edibles, you know, and fucking ours, and mate, honestly, I know, like, it absolutely ripped me off.
Mate. It's different.
Fucking hell.
The digestion thing's weird. It comes in waves, and like certain things you've ate can change.
Mate, I'm glad you're saying that. Like, I don't smoke weed. I had a Lego, man. So it was a Lego jelly. Bit the head off it, laid in bed, listening to fucking like Kid Cudi or something. Like, this is shit. Bit the belly. Bit the belly off it, and I was like, this is when I still lived at my mum's as well. I still lived at my mum's. And I was like, but I was trying these gummies out because we was going away on this like business mentorship weekend, but we used to take a load of gummies and we'll all go each. And I bit the belly off it, and I was like, I don't feel right. I think I need a shit. So I've gone downstairs, put my kegs down, sat in the toilet. I was like, nothing's coming out. Next minute, have you seen Team America? And he used to be sick. I was like, just sick. Like,
what, for half a teddy bear?
It's a Lego, man. Lego. Right. So head, body, legs. I've hit the head, body.
Have you done any of these left, boy? Or taxi batteries?
The funniest thing is,
I'll have one now.
I met some absolute. So how I got it, I text my brother. My brother's like, if you ever need help, my brother will sort you out.
Aye.
And he's like, yeah, go meet this bloke. I met this bloke in like Eastall. Eastall's rough as fuck. Just some cherry on his bike. He was like, here you go, mush, enjoy that tenner. Yeah, see you soon, sound. Anyway, so yeah, projectile, just sick everywhere. Can't get off the toilet. Literally can't get off it.
Brutal.
So I've had to like throw myself off it, crawl through my sick.
Yeah, fucking
mate, crawling through my sick. I was like, I need to get to the sink. So like, get round. Then I've leant over the sink all night for 4 hours. But I've like locked my leg in a triangle. I don't know why.
Oh no.
Yeah, he was like, so I've locked my leg in a triangle, and I was getting picked up at 4:30.
Right.
See my watch, it was 4 o'clock. I was like, fuck, so I've tried to run to get ready. Didn't realise I gave myself like drop foot.
Oh no.
Yeah, I thought I brought my ankle, I fell over anyways. There's all this sick still on. I'm still covered in sick. So I've had a quick shower, got my bag and that gone. Text me, I'm like, Mum, sorry, I think I've had food poisoning in the night.
I've left a mess
for you. I left it.
Fucking dogs have been eating something, man.
Honestly, it was about 6 litres.
Fucking big turn on the deck.
I was that fucked, mate. Like, I on the drive home down to London.
That's 3/4 of a Lego, man. Like, how much did they put in that?
Well, you just don't know, do you? Because
and it
obviously
affects
mix it all
people
up.
different as well. Like, you could have the same edible and you could be absolutely fine with it and you could be absolutely sparked. Like, not sorry for not being politically correct. I fucked up.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like, with the edibles for me, I can have them and I can have a couple, but I know like that is going to fuck. I could have bong after bong here. I'll be fucked, but I know where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
With the edibles, sometimes if I've fasted or depending on what I've ate or whatever, or sometimes they're just fucking smashes. It was the worst one for me, right? I was Marcus Fellon, black belt from East Coast. He's really good. Well, we're affiliated with a gym out in North East.
Oh shit, yeah, Marcus.
East Coast. So Marcus comes over and trains sometimes and that. And he was over not that long, but I picked him up from the airport for the session, having a bit of crack in that. And I think it was when he was gone back. We went for some food or something anyway, and so we got talking. Someone got said about some bongs, but I've got like fucking. Looks like a science lab in my kitchen. There's like multiple bongs, little percolators, massive ones, like dabbing rigs and all this mad shit all out, you know. It's like Dexter's lab in my kitchen, mate. So,
Oh, God.
So I'm fucking out here and I'm like, eyeing it in my head and I'm like, right. I drop Marcus off here, I'm going to fly home, I'm going to have a fucking like stitcher bong when I get in there. I was rating me head and I thought, I've been alright, I've trained my ass off today, I've done 2 sessions, I'm fucking exhausted. I just bought this humongous bong, right, mate. I went in and absolutely packed it. Because my tolerance has been fucking ridiculous. I've been hitting the bongs and smoking multiple blunts all the time and eating all the edibles. And I was like, my fucking tolerance is sky at them and just absolutely packed this fucking bong, right. ripped it in, right. And I just remember as soon as I was like someone had just ran out and said, in my lungs, I was like, oh. And I'm curled out this thing. Yeah, the thickest smoke, just loads of slab off me. Yeah. Sat there and I thought, nah, I know what's coming here. I've absolutely butchered myself here. I thought, right, sort yourself out. Get upstairs. I'll have me bath because I trained him. I was like, I'll have me bath, come down. House inspection the next day on the house we're in. Right? My son Tommy's ran all the way down this long corridor where the white wall is, where a black marker.
Good lad.
I'm like, right, that needs painting tonight. I'm like, I'll get a quick bath, sort my head out, get me chill shit on and I'll do that painting. Mate, I got in the bath and I'm like, fucking hell, I'm green here. Can I sit stop? How have I done this to myself? I was like, I've been smoking all day as well. I was like, why did I do that? I had that huge bomb. Got out. My legs is just like, sorry boys, my legs is full on shaking all out. I'm on the floor. I'm like, oh no, I'm weak. I feel like I'm going to shit my pants and then I'm like, right, I'll be alright, just get up. My lass is still awake in the bedroom, in pitch black. I'm looking at her. She can, obviously I'm in silhouette, but I'm looking at her. I'm thinking, she sees me now. She's gonna see it about how wrecked I am, and that's gonna matter 10 times worse.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm trying to act all right as if I was sound, but in my head I was shitting my pants. I'm like, I've absolutely done myself bad again. So anyway, I get downstairs and it was like this weird lighting in the corridor. It's kind of dark, so I turned the light on, but it was white, and I was painting with the white. And the
lights painting still?
I went to do the painting when I was off my box, mate. I was absolutely just tanked off this bong. And I'm like, curl, like, you know, in Voldemort when he found it at the end. And that's what I felt like. I was there, just absolutely wrecked. I took all my clobber off, sweating it out just on the floor, just wrecked. And I'm like, this needs doing. But I'm too fucked up to do it. But I'm like, if I can focus on it, it might actually get us out of this state that I'm in a bit. So I'm trying to find some sugary drinks to sort us out and that. And I'm painting and I'm just looking and the light's bouncing all over these white walls and I'm painting and white. My fucking head was in bits. So about 7 hours I just sat there and just blasted this fucking to get it sorted. I was fucking mind off it. I was
fucking funny was that. Fuck, you did the wrong wall.
What's that film, man, where they tap the piss out the saw and he's in the fucking basement and he chops his foot off and he chops the wrong foot. Have you seen it?
Oh, yeah, like Scary Movie 3.
The wrong foot. It's fucking hacked it off.
It's fucking class. Fucking
I love shit like that, man.
edibles, man, and weed and
Class,
that's fucked.
No better. Speaking of that, one of the people I had on the podcast was a weed aficionado. He was like, he's got a podcast of his own, but he does loads of stuff for weed and magazines and like all these big ones. He's done stuff with Tommy Chong and that, and every year he has a protest outside of Durham police station where it's like because it's a protest, they're allowed to legally do it and they cordon it off and everyone just smokes weed outside the copper station every year. Aye, they do it.
Really?
Aye.
Fucking where's that?
Do you think it has many benefits to
Durham.
performance and stuff like that? See, like for me, I could never see myself having a joint and then going
Yeah,
on
that's fine. Imagine, like, obviously Diaz brothers are the big ones, aren't they? They're smart, don't they? Run fucking Ironmans or triathlons?
I think it just depends on if you're getting, like, say if you do it regularly, then you kind of know where your limits are with it, kind of thing. Like, obviously you can still get caught, like having a massive stitch of bong like that, it's going to wreck you. But if you smoke all the time, then you kind of know what effect it's going to have on you. And then if you're a productive person anyway, it's just going to give you more productivity, really. And then if you're a lazy person, then you're going to fall into that. Like, as I was saying earlier, like, even smoking indica, which is normally what gets people gouged. If I was smoking indica joint, but then tell myself, right, switch on away. Once I start moving, I'm fine. I think it's just that first initial thing. But obviously, if it's someone who doesn't do it regularly, then that probably seems like a lot to think, oh, fuck, I can't really do this, I'm knackered.
Yeah.
But I think that's all there is to it, really. Like, I think if you just use it as a tool, it's a medicine, really.
What's the one that gets you, like, in the zone?
Sativa. 100%. Aye, it's like a head high, like, whereas indica's a more body high, so you like relaxed and gouge, where sativa, I smoke a joint of sativa and I feel like I want to get out the car and shadowbox inside.
Seriously?
Like,
that's
I feel sick, mate. I love it. I got the tunes pumping. I'm thinking I'm the John Fuller.
Yeah, I can imagine you with some like proper like bassline tunes on. Do you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
Absolute donk tunes.
I love J. Cole, mate. That's my guy. I love him.
How long would that last?
Mate, I've smoked one earlier and I'm still faded off it now a bit, really. And I've had that whole training session and a sauna.
Mate, you in Tall Livings where it's like weed, then shatter wrapped around it, and then like sprinkle the hash on top of it.
I like rolling the hash up into a stick and putting it in a blunt. Mate, I didn't smoke no tobacco though. That's the killer. Yeah. I think you can be as fit as you want, mate. Like, I've only been back, like, obviously after the Christmas thing, and I've only had a couple of weeks hard training, really. And I didn't feel, I did 9 rounds. I sat 1 hour because I wouldn't have a good round and not waste your time and be fucked for you, you know what I mean? So
he's a cunt, anyway. He's just a cunt. He just puts that shoulder in your mouth.
Stop scrambling. Just fucking blowing up my ass.
Aye, but as I say, like, it's that match when I was at Grapple there, I smoked 6 blunts that day, man. I was fucking blazed when I went on. I thought I had more time, so I kept getting my taste.
Did you like feeling that though? When you're going to compete?
I feel, as long as obviously there's a fine line, you know, you could obviously go on 2 of it's like saying, you could have a scrap after having a beer, you probably could, but if you had 3 beers, you're probably going to get gassed to fucking get chinned, you know, like, same with joints. I think if I just smoke a nice little blunt, there's no tobacco in it anyway, it's not heavy on your lungs, chill, then I just think you get into that flow state, and even when you have a scrap, once you're warm, if you smoke and do a big warm, I feel like you would be fucking shit hot, mate, where it's like, if you smoke and then you just gouge about and you're not really doing that, you get in the match, you're going to start your match like that and be slow and, you know. So I like to do a big warm up and then just chill a bit in the matches and I'll feel them out a bit. And
so it's the tobacco, the one that fucks
your fitness, that's the one. Really? I like, as I say, some of the fittest times I've ever been in my life, I've fucking smoked
most weed.
Aye.
Yeah. So at the end of the message that is, smoke weed every day.
That's it, like.
Mate, do you want to finish on anything else? Do you want to give any words for anybody fucking...
Lee Smith, me mate, said give him a shout out, actually, so I'll do that for him, but as I say, time to it. Anything else, I'm trying to think of something funny. Well, actually, there's a funny one. I was telling Owen this earlier, actually. There's a bunch of shitbags in Sunderland at the minute, right, mate, who keep going around the fucking young lads, right, so who gone around with bollies on mopeds, and they're just pulling up next to people's motorbikes and they're just snapping the steering off and pinching these bikes and boxing them, and they've been doing it loads, and absolute, you see them all the time, scumbags, right? So anyway, there's this fucking guy, Connor Scott, he's like big Dracula guy, he's hilarious. He's
Dracula guy.
He's got some, he's fucking cool anyway, but he's mad. He comes to our gym, he's a good lad, and he parked his bike outside the gym, bearing in mind he's had multiple motorbikes pinched off him in his life and that, and always has a fucking nightmare getting them back. But he parked his bike around the back of the gym, and some fucking kids have come and pinched his bike, snapped his lock off and pinched his bike, right? So we're going down in the car and we're fucking driving all over Sunderland. There was 20 of us driving all over to find this kid. And then someone rings me, mate, and says, I'll get you the bike back, kind of thing. I'm not going into too many details, but we've got the bike back anyway.
Is it like kind of, you know, everybody? In Sunderland, people know people.
Like there's good circles where everyone, you know what I mean? So, but then the other night, I'm fucking coaching my class and I'm stood outside and I'm having a joint. And there's a couple of lads having a spliff for us and that. And like, over the road's like a big black car park, pitch black. But there was the van and the car park in front of us and that, we were like, ding, ding, ding. And I was like, it's like someone smashing a glass bottle or someone hitting someone off a fence or something. Anyway, we're just chilling, talking a bit of shit after this class because I'd just done a session. Having a couple of doobies and that. And then I was like, oh, wow, there's something going on over there. So I'm looking in this dark car park and then I look and I went, oh yeah, look at these cunts, they're fucking stealing that motorbike there. So there's a lad on a ped and someone on the back of it, and then one of them's snapping the steering off, bang, gets it off, and they're running down the bank, and I'm like, fuck
Oh
it.
shit, they just run with it.
Oh, and they tat around wherever they can to, and then they box it around the corner and then ride it away.
Fuck
yeah.
yeah.
So they're tatting off anyway. I'm looking at when they're running through the darkness of this car park. I just see a light going onto where, like a street lamp's like where they've run under.
Yeah, and it's
I'm like, that's fucking Connor's bike. They've got Connor's bike. I was like, get him. So
Just the same lads had one nick last week.
aye,
Now it's happening
and then
again.
it's happened again. He's parked at the front. It's happened
mate.
again. And he aye. So anyway, one of the lads runs in and gets him. So we get in the car and we're flying down. I'm like, fucking go down to this church down here. That's where they'll be. We're flying down. We're fucking coming to the car park, pitch black car park, and I was like, there he is. So I flew down. Some get pissed, crackhead, fell out the bush. I was like, drive, it's not him. I was like, come out. I was like, drive. Like some fucking zombie come out. So we left and then we came back up. When we come back up, they were like behind the doctor's surgery in this little nearby thing. I would see the light on the pad. I was like, fucking pull up here. I was like, we've got them. I was like, pull up here. I pull up here and I turned around. I'm saying, Connor, I'm like, fucking catch this kid. You fucking smashing a mine. I'm like, he's fucking pinching, but you're going to hurt this kid here. He's like, I will. I was like, no, I'm serious, Connor. You fucking smashing this kid to pieces. He's like, I will. I've got my bike gear on. I was like, oh, God. I'm like, right to your mate. I'm like, go on then. So I'm like, as I'm running around, one of the other lads who's flew around in his car, come round.
Only just started the gym.
Massive first night at the gym, Baron.
Never. What a bloke. He's already part of the
It
team.
gets better.
Yeah. Muggle. In his vest with his little ginger dorm. Yeah. Gives me the nod. Yeah, foot down, rams them, all three of them on the
His first night.
On the first night at the gym, he's a member for life now. He's a fucking legend. Oh, mate, he's a legend. He's a fucking boyo anyway. Yeah, second, yeah, boom, yeah, I'm running down. I'm like, he's fucking rammed them. He's rammed them. Mate, we've gone around. All three of them. Two of them have been sat in the pen. One of them was on the front trying to box it, just smashed into them. So as we've run down, the pen's been scuttled. We've run into the garden and caught one of them, and then obviously just the kids obviously got a kick and not off me, but Connor give it to him.
No names, yeah,
And
no face, no case, but yeah, someone got battered.
He got a bad eye, but it was hilarious.
As if he's done that on his
And then the
first
coppers
night.
came in, and they were just like, what do they look like? And we were like, well, shit bags. What else do shit bags look like? You know what I mean?
The thing is that, mate, they probably do deserve it. Like,
if he'd have been in Istanbul or somebody would have had his fucking digits cut off. You know what I mean? So, but he deserved it. But it was funny, man. He was squealing the kid, and he was grass telling us his mates his fucking names and everything. But
no way.
I was saying, I'm gonna die. I was saying all this much. It was like fucking.
Imagine doing that on your fucking trial session at the gym.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, like, you do something like that though. Like you said, I remember like. You know what? You know he's a sound bloke. Like
he's a fucking hero. He's down for life now.
That's like you kind of judge people like, would I go for a beer with you? Maybe you would have a joint with him. Like that's how you judge people. That day you're like, he's fucking
funny. Like that, you'll never forget that.
Aye. And that was mad as fuck because the session he'd fucking actually just got a humongous cut on his eye and all from fucking shooting a takedown and someone kneeing him in the dome and fucking bust all his eye with that. It's fucking legend, man.
What a bloke.
Legend, aye. Class, man.
Fucking
class.
unreal.
So funny, man.
Unreal.
Proper boy, but I was like, it's fucking class. Fucking hate him. He's gonna he's only done like 2 jit sessions now. He does a 1-to-1 with me now. He's just started doing them. But he's entered a grappling comp already. But it's like fucking good on him. He's only trained like, as I say, like less than 5 times now. You know what I mean? It's maybe 3. I think he's trained 3 times or something.
They obviously don't give a fuck.
Does he know that he can't drive his car onto the mat?
No, well,
when it comes to his competition, like.
Well, it's hilarious because I was laughing about this because I was like, I'm like, fucking hell, it's fucking hardly any damage. No, it's only a rammer anyway. I was like, immaculate. I was like,
what about the guy's bike though? What about that Connor's bike? Was Connor's bike fucked?
No, well, it wasn't Connor's bike. He hit it. Was the moped. The moped got fucking smashed to pieces.
That is fucking mean. He's lucky he didn't fucking kill him.
Man, I said, imagine that. Imagine you had done it, cracked the head off the thing. He's staying 25 to life for somebody who's just met
on his first session.
He just fucking all in. Legend, man.
Funny,
so funny, man.
Unreal.
So funny.
Fucking real. Fucking class.
As I say, fucking the gym's full of people like that. Just all.
Then these sort of gyms just attract. Like ours, we've got lawyers.
Aye.
And then we've got some lad who's off his fucking box. Both literally and like fucking mental.
He's a good lad
well.
though, you know.
No, he's a bellend. I wasn't even on about him, but he's a bellend. But yeah, it's mad how they all mix, innit? And then no one gives a fuck when you spar.
Best things about gyms. Best things about fucking gyms is you will come across people you would never look at twice in the street. That's it. Like I say, there's Dr. Shagger.
Oh, and he'd probably never, ever cross
A dickhead.
Tomo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah.
did he get on?
I was, man,
perfect.
it's like there's coppers in that at North East too, Trim Russ, and like, they just sound as fuck, you know what I mean? It's like just all different walks of life, it's hilarious. You do get the mad ones as well, like, obviously, but it's funny, man, isn't it?
It is, mate. It's the best. It is the fucking best.
Like, look, Pilkey the other day, man, he come into my city, he wanted to do one-to-one, he's one of my good mates, I used to ride mountain bikes for him and that, right? He come in and he's like, in his session, he's doing a grappling comes in, he's like, I want to feel what it feels like, you can put sleep, mate. I was like, oh.
Fucking that
Mate,
video.
you know what? I will
it's
attach this video to this.
He's like, put me to sleep now. I was like, Pilkey, are you serious? Because you know I fucking will.
Video,
you know I fucking will. I'll live for that shit. I'm not telling you to do it, but if you want me to fucking put you out, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean?
Why did he ask that? Because he's competing. He
You
said,
just
I
want
want
to feel what it was like. So I was like, wait, I'll be saying, but obviously I felt like most of the time when you try and put someone out, if you're fucking on balls to the wall, the pressure's that much, the panic tap straight away. If you just chill and build it on, normally they're like comfortable in it, even though they're panicking, then they're going out anyway. And I was like there and I was talking to him, but he kept getting, but like trying to move his hands. So I'm like, is he out yet? And I'm looking at him. And
Mate, he was out.
Oh, and then he's out.
Yeah.
And if you listen to it really carefully, when he's out, I'm like, he fucking busted a nut while he was unconscious. Comes back and looking at the camera.
That's his way he's looking at you. And then he realises,
with the slab of bubble on his lip. I was like, this cunt's fucking
I did in the gym the other day by accident though.
Oh, man.
Remember?
I was mad how nobody's saying it. You know, I was expecting loads of Jiu-Jitsu purists.
I thought he'd
Things
got
like
loads of
your
shit.
is your account
Did you not
private?
get shit?
Nah, not one person. Every message I got was full
I thought
support.
you were
Things
like,
like
shit.
your account's private, innit?
I think
I think you need to unprivate that, mate.
No, because you end up with loads of wankers.
wankers,
though,
mate.
mate.
Weirdos.
Bad.
Weirdos,
Oh,
mate.
yeah.
Well, yeah, look at this
Weird
week.
shit.
That post this week from Monday.
Yeah. Just people that know fuck all and
There's a guy, you know,
they're not even interested in learning fuck all either. They
They're just
just
fucking dicks.
throw it on you for no reason.
They're
you know
just
what I mean?
like for no reason. As I see that video there, I was like fully explained. There's gonna be some fucking big name jiu-jitsu guy gets all this and says like, "Oh, you're a fucking arse, or you're doing something for the community." But I just thought, yeah, this is fucking comedy gold. I don't give a fuck if anyone thinks he's a big man. It's his choice, and he wanted to get out.
I was
Fuck
teaching
you.
at gym over there and fucking we're doing arm triangle. And this lad, I won't say his name, but proper nice lad in there.
Probably the nicest kid there.
Real quiet, super reserved.
Yeah.
And I'm just using him for these demos, and we've done 2 of them. And I'm like, look, like, change your angle like this, and you tap him before I'm even putting it on. So I'm like, look, if you drop here, you change your angle, like,
It's like
make it a
been
little
building
bit
the whole
tighter.
time.
Yeah, you can finish without a squeeze, like, you can use your body instead. And I'm like, right, last time, so I do number 3. I do the same thing, but I drop, and he's not tapping. So I've let go. I'm like, fucking hell, Ali, you resisting, mate.
You said his
Let
name.
go. I've just said his name. Yeah. He won't.
Pally.
Pally. You resisting, mate. Gone.
Somebody more.
Honestly, class just went fucking silent. I'm grabbing his legs like this. He's out. Holding his
Like a
cock.
blind man.
Just had a natural reaction to grab his cock.
Massive
Like, what the
stimmy
fuck's going on? I was praying he hadn't pissed himself. He hadn't. But that's what a lot of people
like
do.
Johnson while he's unconscious. Just got out of it.
Well, you showed us that video the other day.
Oh, mate, have you seen that Nigerian like
Fucking
boxing?
hell.
Oh, and he's pissing out his fucking thing. Is that the one?
No, the guy
got some mad sport.
gets cleaned out. This guy's cleaned out, so how they resuscitate him.
This is legit. This I thought it
And
was
I'll even
He's got balls.
mate undo his belt, undo his pants, and straight down. Just fucking go at
Yeah,
it.
it's
Maybe I should start getting chinned a bit more.
Mate, one of the comments is like, I'd stay unconscious until I'd finished.
Little lie out there.
oh, what's going
Oh,
on?
that was great. Sorry, what's happening?
Mate, yeah.
You better wash your hands, mate.
Yeah, unreal. Unfucking real.
Fucking belter, man. What was it? What were you saying? That Pilkey video. How did you? Because loads of people, it was like a couple of days after were commenting on it, saying, me and Elf are not saying this, and I'm like, how?
I was fucking laughing.
That's you can't share it because you're private. You can't fucking share it. Yeah.
I'll attach that onto
I'll
it.
unthing it so you can get it.
Fuck
Mate,
me.
yeah.
I'll send you it. It's
Mate,
fucking gold,
yeah.
man. It's the best video ever.
Unreal.
When you had it, I thought he ain't actually gonna put him out though. Not
because I
on
was just
camera
chilling
because he's
like this.
posted it. He hasn't put him out. What a funny cunt.
Actually, that's what it is. Where does Calpacino come from? That's just a self-made thing.
No, well, well, one of my mates used to call us Scarface. We used to have weird arguments, and we were like, we're best mates, but we used to like hate each other a bit at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, when you just grew up with someone, and he used to call us Scarface, and I hated it. But when I first started fighting MMA, obviously I come from a boxing background, and at the time, if you put my name on Google, it was just all boxing shit. So I'm like, fucking hell, I'm trying to be an anti-grappler.
Yeah.
If these look on this, they're just going to come in and shoot from my legs. So I was like, I need to put something out there so people know as someone else. So I was like, Scarface, and I was like, well, Al Pacino. I was like, well, Calpacino was pretty cool, so I'll just fucking chuck that on. But then when I went to South Africa, they genuinely thought I was called Calpacino. So they didn't know my name was Elno, so all the things were like Calpacino. So all the Calpacino shit and all that. So I was like, oh, sweet, I'll just run with it, and it worked.
Quality.
You know what I mean? And then that was it, and it just kind of stuck from there.
It's fucking catchy.
It is a good name, yeah. It's a good fucking name. That's all right. That's all I call it. That's how we call you, don't we? Like you see Calpacino's videos.
I got a big scar down my fucking face, like right down the middle.
I only learned your name was Cal Allen about 3 months ago.
I don't know your name.
I can't help it. But I've got a big scar down the middle of my face. When I was a kid, I was like some fucking arsonist firebug, you know, like just little ADHD fucking lunatic. I always just played in my own back garden, fucking setting fires all the time. And my dad used to have all these plastic plant pots and all, like when I got bored of like catapulting the fucking greenhouse windows out and all that. I was knocking the gnomes' noses off and like slicing their heads off and all that. Once that got boring for us, it was fires. So I used to burn all these plastic plant pots, and I can't remember what happened, if it had been on the thing or whatever, or if it was in the fire, but I remember touching something with a stick and it just went, now when plastic's on fire, and it landed in between my eyes and went in the corner of my eye, but it didn't land in my eyeballs, so it would have burnt my eye out. It was on fire when it was on my face, and I remember fucking thinking it
Lucky that.
Aye.
It's a decent gash, that as well.
Aye.
Close.
Cool on me, makes you look cool as fuck.
Aye, so it's one of them. But thankfully, never in any of my MMA fights did it ever open up. I mean, this one, I got that one off an elbow and then that one off a punch, and never ever.
If that had opened up, it would have been bad.
Oh, it would have been a horrible one, aye. Right in the middle of my eyes, it would have fucked us, but...
At least you never get monobrow.
Aye, well, I still do. It's fucking double bad. It's a monobrow scar, it's fucking worse. It's horrible. Big attention on it now, you know what I mean? Little bristles will do.
Fucking hell. Right, big boy, we'll wrap it up there. We'll finish, mate. We'll finish with a big oos.
Oos. Oos.